Let's get to a story we've been tracking over the last 30 minutes. Claudine Gay stepping down as president of Harvard University, ending a brief and tumultuous tenure. Alan Garber, the chief academic officer at Harvard, has been tapped as the interim president. As for Gay, she said in a statement, it has become clear that it is in the best interests of Harvard for me to resign so that our community can navigate this moment of extraordinary challenge with a focus on the institution rather than any individual. Bloomberg's David Westin joining us now with more on this developing story. David, what can you tell us about what led to this?
Well, we all know a lot of it because Ms. Gay, as well as the president of Penn and president of MIT, were called before Congress to answer for some of what was going on the campuses in the aftermath of that attack by Hamas on Israel. And it has been sort of a firestorm for these three presidents to deal with exactly how you control and influence discussion on the campus. There were also questions, as you know, that developed over time about some of the work that President Gay had done for her dissertation, for her PhD, and allegations that she had improperly used sources that she did not identify. Initially, the corporation of Harvard, which is what they call the Board of Trustees, the corporation, said there'd been an investigation, and they had totally exonerated her. There was no problem, but now she said she stepped down. And I take her at her word. At this point, at some point, a leader becomes a distraction rather than part of the solution. It sounds like she reached that conclusion with the corporation, she said in the statement.
Well, speaking of distractions, they did name an interim president. This is Alan Garber, as we had mentioned. However, you did see a similar issue over at UPenn as well. How hard is it to find talent to run these universities in the middle of such pushback from donors, the public, and even lawmakers at this point?
These have always been hard jobs, but clearly, Shonali, they're much harder jobs than certainly I understood before. And maybe some of this, in fairness, is a reflection of the society more broadly, where things have become so polarized, and every issue becomes a major issue with personal attacks, frankly, on leaders on both sides of the equation. But it certainly is not going to be easier to find somebody to take one of these jobs now, and it takes an enormous amount of skill, particularly because, as you suggest, Shonali, everybody and their brother thinks they get to run the universities now. I mean, the Congress thinks they get a say, the donors think they get a say, and that's before you get to the administration and the faculty.